The void remembers. The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the collective consciousness of 800 species. Holographic projections flickered above crystalline platforms, where representatives from the galaxy's most powerful civilizations gathered. At the center, the Maldorian speaker raised his four-armed form, his iridescent scales catching the chamber's artificial starlight. "The verdict is final," the speaker declared, his voice resonating through universal translators. "Humanity has violated the non-aggression pact by colonizing Sector Zeta 7. As a primitive species barely 2 centuries into space travel, they must be contained." Ambassador Elena Rodriguez stood alone on the human platform, her dark eyes reflecting the chamber's cold light. She had argued for 3 solar cycles, presenting evidence of humanity's peaceful intentions, their cultural contributions, their technological innovations. None of it mattered. "The Council has decided," continued the speaker. "Human expansion will cease immediately. All colonies beyond Sol system will be evacuated. Earth will be placed under Quarantine Protocol Omega." Rodriguez's jaw tightened. "You're sentencing billions to confinement based on fear. We've broken no laws. Sector Zeta 7 was unclaimed. Unclaimed by your primitive understanding," scoffed Ambassador Krell of the Vorthok Empire, his chitinous form clicking with agitation. "That sector has been reserved for future Vorthok expansion for millennia." The vote was cast. 812 species voted for containment. 8 abstained. 0 opposed. Rodriguez activated her neural implant, sending a quantum-encrypted message to Earth. The response came instantly, 2 words that made her spine straighten. "Understood. Proceeding." She looked up at the assembled aliens, memorizing each face, each form. "The Council has made its decision. Humanity acknowledges the verdict." She paused, allowing herself a small smile. "We'll see ourselves out." As Rodriguez's shuttle departed the Council station, she didn't look back. In the depths of Earth's Pacific Ocean, something ancient stirred, something humanity had been building in absolute secrecy for 50 years. Deep beneath the Mariana Trench, in caverns that officially didn't exist, the greatest achievement of human engineering awaited activation. Project Jormungandr, named after the world serpent of Norse mythology, represented humanity's answer to a hostile galaxy. Dr. Sarah Chen stood before the main control interface, her team of thousands working in perfect synchronization. The ship wasn't built like anything the galaxy had seen. It wasn't even built of matter as aliens understood it. "Quantum field generators online," reported Chief Engineer Yamamoto. "Dark matter resonance chambers stable. Consciousness matrix initialized." Chen nodded. "Begin integration sequence." Time to wake the servant. Jormungandr wasn't just a ship. It was a living theorem, a mathematical construct given form through humanity's unique understanding of quantum mechanics. While other species built bigger weapons, stronger shields, faster engines, humans had asked a different question. What if we could build something that existed partially outside normal spacetime? The ship began to rise, passing through solid rock as if it were mist. Its hull shifted between states of matter, sometimes solid, sometimes energy, sometimes something that defied classification. It emerged from Earth's ocean like a leviathan from myth, water cascading off its constantly shifting form. Admiral Marcus Blackwood stood on the bridge, if it could be called that. The command center existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, allowing the crew to perceive and manipulate spacetime directly. "All systems nominal," his first officer, Commander Zhang Wei, reported. "Quantum tunneling drive ready. Reality anchors stable." Blackwood nodded. "Set course for Maldorian Prime. Time to introduce ourselves properly." The Maldorian Supremacy Fleet detected Jormungandr the moment it entered their territory. 300 capital ships, the pride of their empire, moved to intercept what their sensors couldn't properly classify. Fleet Commander Vex studied the readings, his scales flickering with confusion. "What are we looking at?" "Unknown, Commander." His tactical officer responded. The object appears to be fluctuating. Our sensors can't maintain a stable lock. Hail them. No response to standard communications. Wait. Receiving transmission. Blackwood's face appeared on their screens, calm and professional. Maldorian Fleet, this is Admiral Marcus Blackwood of the Earth ship Jormungandr. You have one opportunity to stand down. Vex laughed, a harsh sound like grinding stones. One ship against the Supremacy Fleet. Humans truly are primitive. All weapons, prepare to fire. As you wish, Blackwood replied, cutting the transmission. The Maldorians opened fire with everything they had. Plasma cannons, antimatter torpedoes, gravity weapons. 300 ships worth of devastation converged on Jormungandr's position. The weapons passed through empty space. Jormungandr had phase shifted, existing temporarily in a parallel quantum state. The ship reappeared behind the Maldorian formation, its form rippling like water. Demonstrate Protocol Alpha, Blackwood ordered. The human ship didn't fire weapons in any conventional sense. Instead, it began to sing, a quantum resonance that rippled through space-time itself. Reality warped around the Maldorian vessels. Their shields, designed to stop energy and matter, were useless against an attack on the fundamental structure of space. One by one, the Maldorian ships began to fold. Not explode, not break apart. They folded like origami, their molecular bonds rearranging into impossible configurations. 300 ships became 300 perfect geometric sculptures, crews still alive but trapped in bodies that no longer obeyed conventional physics. Vex found himself compressed into 2 dimensions, aware but unable to move as his flagship became a flat disk spinning slowly in space. Through sensors that still somehow functioned, he watched Jormungandr pulse with energies that shouldn't exist. The demonstration took exactly 60 seconds. 300 ships neutralized without a single casualty, but with a message clearer than any weapon. Humanity had moved beyond conventional warfare. Quantum Echo Pulse complete, reported Commander Zhang. All hostile vessels contained. No fatalities. Blackwood nodded with satisfaction. Broadcast on all frequencies. His message reached every corner of civilized space. This is Admiral Blackwood of Earth. The Galactic Council voted to contain humanity. We respectfully decline. Jormungandr will visit each council member's homeworld. We come not for conquest, but for conversation. The age of looking down on humanity ends now. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as Jormungandr phase shifted again, vanishing from Maldorian space. It reappeared moments later above Vorthik Prime, then Kelos II, then the Andromedan Consortium's capital. Each time it appeared, it did nothing but exist, and that existence alone was enough to demonstrate humanity's new position in the cosmic hierarchy. In the depths of the ship, Dr. Chen monitored the consciousness matrix. Jormungandr was more than technology. It was humanity's collective will-given form. Every human connected to the neural network contributed to its power, not through force or aggression, but through imagination, creativity, and the uniquely human ability to see beyond what is to what could be. Phase 1 complete, she announced. The galaxy knows we exist. Phase 2 begins now. As Jormungandr danced between stars, folding space like paper, the ancient powers of the galaxy faced a new reality. Humanity had not built a warship. They had built a paradigm shift with engines. The void remembered the moment everything changed, and it whispered a new name. Jormungandr, the serpent that swallowed the old order whole, the serpent that swallows stars. The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened in unprecedented chaos. 800 species, many who had ruled their sectors for millions of years, faced something they hadn't experienced in eons: genuine fear. "This is impossible," thundered Ambassador Krell, his chitness form trembling. No species achieves quantum manipulation at this level. The humans have been spacefaring for mere centuries. Yet the evidence floats above our worlds, replied the Zentari representative, her crystalline form pulsing with agitation. Our best scientists can't explain what we're seeing. The human ship doesn't just bend physics, it rewrites it. High Chancellor Nexus of the Galactic Council called for order. His ancient form, a being of pure energy contained within mechanical constraints, flickered with uncertainty. We must respond with unified force. Secretary Rodriguez warned us during the containment vote. We didn't listen. A trap, insisted the Moldorian speaker, his scales still pale from his fleet's encounter. The humans planned this. While we debated their primitive colonies, they built that. Through the council chamber's vast windows, Jormungandr hung in space like a predator at rest. Its hull rippled with quantum uncertainties, sometimes appearing solid, sometimes translucent, sometimes seeming to exist in multiple locations simultaneously. 3 fleets, declared Nexus. The Combined Armada, the Vorthak Dominion, and the Andromedan Guard. Total strength, 2,000 ships. We strike together. The ambush was coordinated with military precision across 3 galactic quadrants. As JUR and the UNGANDR phase shifted near the Kelos Nebula, the 3 fleets emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, creating a sphere of destruction around the human vessel. Admiral Xanthi of the Combined Armada transmitted the Council's ultimatum. Human vessel, you are surrounded. Surrender immediately or face the combined might of the galaxy's greatest powers. On JUR and UNGANDR's bridge, Admiral Blackwood observed the tactical display with calm interest. They brought everyone. Good. We can finish this conversation properly. Commander Zhang raised an eyebrow. Sir, that's over 2,000 ships. Shouldn't we? Commander, Blackwood interrupted gently. What's the fundamental error in their thinking? Zhang considered, then smiled with understanding. They still think this is about firepower. Precisely. Dr. Chen, please demonstrate Protocol Omega. Deep within JORMUNGANDR's quantum core, Dr. Chen interfaced directly with the ship's consciousness matrix. Her mind merged with thousands of others, creating a collective intelligence that transcended individual thought. Initiating reality cascade, she announced. All hands, prepare for dimensional flux. JORMUNGANDR began to change, not just its form, but its fundamental nature. The ship split into probability waves, each version slightly different, each equally real. 1 became 2, 2 became 4, 4 became 16. Within moments, thousands of JORMUNGANDR variants filled space, each one a complete functional vessel. The Allied fleets opened fire, but their weapons passed through what appeared to be illusions. Yet sensors confirmed each ship was real, existing in slightly different quantum states. Then the true demonstration began. JORMUNGANDR's variants began to merge with space itself. The ship didn't just fly through the void. It became the void. Stars dimmed as the vessel drew upon their energy, not through technology, but through direct manipulation of fundamental forces. Quantum echo field expanding, reported the science officer. We're resonating with local space-time. The enemy fleets found their own ships beginning to vibrate in harmony with JORMUNGANDR's frequency. Hull plates sang with quantum harmonics. Engine cores pulsed with rhythms that matched human heartbeats. The more they'd fought, the more they synchronized with humanity's paradigm. Admiral Xanthi watched in horror as her fleet's weapons began firing in patterns that created geometric mandalas in space, beautiful, harmless, and completely beyond her control. What are they doing to us? She demanded. Her science officer's response chilled her to the core. They're not doing anything to us, Admiral. They're showing us what we could become. On every affected ship, crews experienced a moment of pure clarity. They saw the universe not as separate civilizations competing for resources, but as a vast, interconnected web of consciousness. The human paradigm, cooperation over conquest, understanding over dominance, flooded their minds. Jormungandr pulsed once more, and across the galaxy, something fundamental shifted. The quantum echo field reached every inhabited world simultaneously, carrying a simple message that bypassed language and spoke directly to consciousness. We are humanity. We choose not to conquer, but to elevate. Join us in transcendence, or remain in your cage of fear. The choice is yours. Admiral Blackwood stood at the center of the bridge as reports flooded in. Across the galaxy, weapons systems were powering down. Fleets were standing down. The Galactic Council was calling for emergency session, not to plan attack, but to discuss terms. "Sir," Commander Zhang reported, voice filled with awe, "we're receiving surrender signals from everyone. The entire Galactic Council is requesting formal dialogue." Blackwood nodded. "Open a channel to Earth. Let the President know we're ready for Phase 3. President Maria Santos appeared on the main screen, her expression mixing relief with determination. "Admiral, you've given us the opening we needed. Time to show them what humanity really offers." The final confrontation took place in the Council chambers, but it was unlike any diplomatic session in galactic history. Jormungandr didn't dock. It merged temporarily with the station, its quantum field encompassing the entire structure. Admiral Blackwood materialized directly in the center of the chamber, not through transporter technology, but through quantum probability manipulation. He stood before 800 species, no weapons, no guards, just a human in a simple uniform. "Distinguished representatives," he began, his voice carrying to every corner without amplification. "You voted to contain humanity out of fear. Fear that we might disrupt your order, challenge your authority, take what you consider yours. You were right to fear, but for the wrong reasons." The chamber remained silent, species that had ruled for eons hanging on the words of a race they'd dismissed as primitive. "We don't want your worlds. We don't need your resources. We offer something far more dangerous: perspective. You've spent millions of years building walls between species, creating hierarchies, fighting over scraps while the universe itself waits to be understood." High Chancellor Nexus flickered uncertainly. "What do you propose, Admiral?" Blackwood smiled. "Partnership. Real partnership. Jormungandr isn't just our ship. It's our invitation. Join us in transcending the old paradigm. Keep your worlds, your cultures, your identities, but add something new. True cooperation. And if we refuse?" asked Ambassador Krell, though his tone lacked its former arrogance. "Then you remain as you are," Blackwood replied simply. "But know that humanity will continue to grow, to explore, to push the boundaries of what's possible. And we'll do it with or without you." The vote this time was different. Not a vote of fear, but of hope. 800 species voted to join humanity's new paradigm. 12 abstained. 0 opposed. As the session concluded, Jormungandr's quantum field gently withdrew from the station. But something had changed. Across the galaxy, research stations reported new phenomena. Quantum entanglements forming between previously hostile species, technological breakthroughs occurring simultaneously on different worlds, and a growing sense of connection that transcended physical space. In the depths of space, Jormungandr resumed its journey. But now it wasn't alone. Ships from 100 species began following in its wake, learning to see the universe through human eyes. Not as conquerors, but as explorers of infinite possibility. Dr. Chen stood in the observation deck, watching the stars blur as they phase shifted between realities. Phase 3 initialized. Galactic Consciousness Network expanding. Admiral Blackwood joined her, his expression thoughtful. "You know what the beautiful irony is. They tried to contain us, to keep us small. Instead, they forced us to become something greater than any of us imagined. The serpent that swallows stars, Chen mused, referencing the mythological origin of their ship's name. Except we don't destroy. We transform. Indeed, and this is just the beginning. As Jormungandr danced between dimensions, the galaxy learned a fundamental truth. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't technology or strategy. It was the ability to see beyond what exists to what could be. And in sharing that vision, they hadn't conquered the galaxy. They had invited it to transcend. The serpent had swallowed the old order, but from it, something new was being born. A galaxy where the measure of civilization wasn't power or age, but the courage to imagine and the wisdom to share. And in the vast expanse of space, Jormungandr continued its eternal dance, a reminder that sometimes the greatest revolutions come not from force, but from showing others a better way to be.